Okay, this video is to remind you to get your reservations booked ASAP if you're traveling to Rome during peak season. Peak season starts about in maybe the middle of April, May, June, July, August, September. If you're traveling during those months, do not wait any longer to get your reservations for an Airbnb or hotel because prices go up drastically, especially once everything's kind of booked out, which it typically does do that in those months. Last year, I went to Rome and I had an apartment lined up, and I think it started on the 10th, and I got there, I think it was the 3rd. When I got there, I hadn't reserved anything. I just thought I'd kind of play it by ear and find something, short term until my apartment was ready. And to my surprise, everything was booked, and the cheapest thing I could find in the entire city was $500 a night. I checked hotels, I checked crappy little one bedroom, one baths. They were $500 a night. There were some one bedroom, one bath selling for as much as $5,000 a night. I know that doesn't sound right, but it really was, and I was really surprised. And so my lesson I learned was, if you're coming to Rome in those months, don't try to play it by ear. Don't try to be flexible. You need to have that scheduled place to stay in Rome. Now, some of the other cities are not like that. You can still, I typically had no problem finding a place in Florence or Naples. And if you do get to Rome and you're like me where you weren't prepared, there is a workaround that might work for you. It's not ideal, but it was still a lot of fun. What we did is we went to a city called Tivoli, which is about a 30-40 minute train ride outside of Rome. And in Tivoli was a real cool city itself. It had some real fun things to see. And we found a nice Airbnb. There were lots to choose from there. Even in May, we were able to stay there for I don't remember, but it was around $100 a night in a nice Airbnb. And then you've got Frascati, which is the similar distance from Rome by train. They have trains that run every hour back and forth to Rome, so it's real easy to get to Rome. It's still that hour on the train, but so that's where it's not ideal. But paying $500 a night is also not ideal. But if you've got that money and you don't prepare and you don't mind dropping $2,000-$3,000 on a few nights hotel, then you're good to go. But otherwise, you can rearrange Rome. You can we went to Naples for a couple of days while we were waiting for our apartment, and that was like, we got a nice place down in Naples, and Naples is a great little city to go visit, by the way. And I think we paid like $80 or $90 for a nice Airbnb in Naples. And then you can go other places like Spoleto and things like that. So if you get there last minute, yeah, I would say, you don't want to spend $500 a night. That's why I'm making this video so that if you're still uncertain of where to stay or your reservations aren't secure, get those secured today. Let me give you some examples. Okay, so first of all, let's just look at, this is one of my favorite areas to stay at Trastevere. Yeah, it's right across the river here. Let's block this out so you can see. So it's located right down here across the river, pretty close to Piazza Tralusa. And this is $108 a night here in March, but let's just look out and see what they have for May. So as you can see, the rest of March is booked. We've got just a few dates for April. May's completely booked. Half of June is booked. And then you've got some dates starting, May's basically the later half of June. So let's look at this place. It's 108. It's going to go up a little bit because you're now in peak season. So it went from 108 to 156 a night, which for a one bedroom, two bath, especially with 4.96, even though it only has 69 reviews, that's still quite a few reviews. That's a really good deal for a place. And so you can still get good deals if you, per night, if you book in advance. Now this one, to get that good deal, you had to go out till 3-4 months in advance. But as these are taken up, what's left are just very expensive Airbnbs. Now, an honest Airbnb does it like this. They have rates already predetermined for low season, for mid-season, and for high season. They don't jack their prices up just because there's no availability. But in Airbnb, there are a certain percentage of landlords or operators that are in the game only to take advantage of the seasons where everything else is booked up. and they come in there with really bad reviews or no reviews. That's how you kind of know they're kind of popping up there at the last minute. They're manipulating the system to get into the system, and then they're charging astronomical prices, $500, $1,000 a night, $1,500 a night. When you're desperate, sometimes you pay it. You think, I'm on vacation, you know, it's not what I wanted to do, but we got a place. It's costing us $4,000 for 4 nights or 5 nights, and trust me, you know, if you had booked in advance, you could find a good place. And that's what this video is about, is booking in advance, especially for April, May, June, July. Now, if you're going in off season, I say don't book in advance, because you can get pretty good deals, last minute deals in February and January, even in early March, you can get pretty good deals. And what I mean by that, let's look back here at these at Airbnb here. If I was going to go in March, let's say March 10th to the 16th, and this is a week and a half, this is almost a month out, so it's not going to be quite as many good deals here. There'll still be good deals, because you can see down here. But what I'm saying, like this one's got some, you know, they got some discounts, 132 a night, normally 151 a night. But let's look at what this might cost if I went out into the month I'm in February, and last minute. Okay, this is for last minute booking. You get quite a few of these ones that have discounts, and this is because they're not already booked, and so they kind of put this discount out there. This was normally $259 a night in this month if you had booked it like in advance, but by waiting last minute, it's not available. It's a pretty good place. They're selling now, instead of $259, you can get it for $86 a night. This one's $246 to $158. This one's $118 to $191. So all of these, not all of them, but most of them have a discount because it's last minute. And you can do that in February, but don't think you can do that in May or June or July. Get your reservations set as soon as you can. And I'm a personal guy that I love Airbnbs over hotels, but even hotels can get very expensive once the inventory gets dried up. Get your reservations situated ASAP for May, June, July, September, August, whatever. For the high season, get it booked today. Thumbs up for this video. Just trying to be helpful. Have a good one.